It always does. Is it necessary sometimes? Absolutely. But does it still hurt? Oh yes. And I as an individual have a really hard time dealing with losing people. Hi friends, welcome or welcome back to my channel. If you don't know me, my name is Juli and I'm a fantasy artist and oil painter. I finished one of my most emotional paintings that I did to this day. It's about all kinds of loss, grief, heartbreak, losing people in general, which is a topic that I personally struggle a lot with, and I'm sure a lot of you can also relate. I can't wait to show you the process of this painting today and talk about everything that went through my head while creating this piece. And of course, sharing a lot from the heart, being vulnerable, because talking about mental health is important. So grab your snacks and blankets and let's get painting.
So far, this is the biggest painting I'm doing in my new technique, which I'm still figuring out, where I'm doing a monochromatic underpainting first and adding color in a later step. If you want to know more about this technique, you can watch these two videos where I'm explaining it in more depth. I started this painting in August of last year when we still lived at the old apartment, and it has seen so many changes over time. Here you can see some work in progress shots of the underpainting, but I didn't record any of it because it was a very stressful time in my life and I was just happy to find some time to paint something. I couldn't wait to finally add color to this underpainting and bring it to life. All I knew is that I wanted it to be vibrant with a lot of details. But in this step I'm just adding color to get a rough idea of the scene and making sure to not add any important details yet. Glazing a painting takes multiple layers to get the desired intensity, so I'm just adding more and more color and slowly bringing this painting to life.
I have a hard time accepting when people are gone from my life, whether it be friends or partners, platonic or romantic relationships. I have a hard time accepting it and I grieve for a very long time. I've always been a sensitive person. I'm a lover girl at heart. I love people so much it hurts, and I honestly can't remember a time where it hasn't been that way. Love is the only truth I know. Everyone will experience loss and grief in some way at some point in their life, whether that be by death, a breakup, or just falling out of contact with old friends because everyone's busy living their own life. And I've also had a fair share of breakups in my life, both platonically and romantically. But I feel like friendship breakups aren't talked about as much as romantic breakups, even though they're so common and so painful. I've had friendships and relationships that I've ended, and I've also had friendships and relationships that the other person ended. And no matter which side you're on, it's always painful. I know that I always go into relationships and friendships open-hearted, hoping it lasts forever. And I know that even after the friendship or relationship had ended, I still loved them for a very long time. Even if something wasn't meant to last, I didn't stop loving them until the last moment of the relationship, and also past that, until I found the strength to move on. And I know that in all of my friendships and relationships, I was doing my best that I could at the time to fix things, to solve things, and of course work on myself, recognize my own mistakes, because of course I also made mistakes in my past. The best I can do is learn from them and try to not do them again. And I feel like I've made a lot of progress over the past 3 years. experience, friendship breakups can be just as painful as romantic breakups, especially when you're breaking up with a really close friend. When I meet a new friend, I just automatically assume it's gonna last forever. Because, I don't know, I just love people so much, and in my opinion there's always room for friends and always love to give. My friendships give me life. Having a strong support system is absolutely crucial for me, and I just need my group of people to talk to comfort each other. What I can tell you, after some time has passed, these breakups will ultimately start to make sense, and you will understand why it needed to happen. Every person I've lost has made room for incredible new people, incredible friendships that I'm so grateful for. And I can look back on my old friendships and appreciate the good moments we shared and also the lessons I've learned. Something that all of my romantic and platonic relationships have taught me is that every person who enters your life is ultimately here to teach you something. And viewing life this way has completely shifted my perspective and helped me a lot in dealing with this grief. There will be times where after some time you will think, oh yes, we're so not compatible, we're at totally different stages of life. It makes so much sense this didn't work out. And there will be times where you're like, oh damn, it just doesn't make sense that we're not friends anymore. I wish I could solve this. And both are absolutely valid. And I've been there, and I can tell you it gets easier over time. Something that I can confidently say is that I hold no grudges, no ill will against any of my former friends or partners. I recognize what went wrong, why it didn't work out, and I made my peace with the lessons I took from it. I'm so grateful because everything I'm experiencing is forming me and teaching me stuff. And now I have a better feeling of what I want and what I don't want, how I want to be treated and how I want to treat others. For example, if you really liked how someone treated you, you can continue seeking out those qualities in future relationships. Or you recognize that you absolutely messed up in a friendship and you're trying your hardest to not let it happen again in the future. My past relationships have shown me a range of emotions that I didn't know existed, and every person brought something new to the table. For example, before I met my current boyfriend, I didn't know that love could feel like this. Because this relationship is unlike everything I've experienced before. And this brings me one step closer to fully knowing myself and what I want and how I want to feel. And isn't that exciting? Everything is here to teach us something, and there's so much love to be explored.
Sometimes I turned the painting upside down to be able to access better angles for my hand. Because when I'm painting for longer periods, I sometimes struggle with wrist pain, so I'm trying to make it a little easier wherever I can. Adding details is my absolute favorite part when painting. I just love painting individual blades of grass and little bugs, vibrant moss and ripples of water. The little bugs I painted actually have a meaning, which I will tell you later in this video, and it was so exciting to see my visions come to life.
Painting about this is part of my healing journey. In flower language, the bleeding hearts stand for experiencing loss and grief, for heartbreak, for losing friends or partners, and even for losing someone through death. I chose these flowers to represent the people I've lost in my life, the wounds they have left, because some wounds still hurt, some have healed, some have left scars, but ultimately they're part of my journey. The little bugs you see also have a meaning. The bugs on the left side are facing away from each other, representing a breakup. The ladybugs on the right side are facing towards each other, representing a relationship. And the single bug on the tree represents being happy without a partner. The right side of the painting, where the light is coming from and the ladybugs are, is the new beginning, the light after a dark period, remembering us that there's always good to come, that hard times don't last forever. There's always light on the other side, and the darker side, where the flowers are, where the scars and the pain is, represents the past, the breakups, the hurt. And I feel like this painting is closing a chapter of my life that I'm so grateful to finally move on. And I'm so happy that you're here and that I could share this with you. There's one more thing which at first I didn't want to talk about because it's kind of whatever, but it's a very funny coincidence and I'm kind of seeing a pattern because it's not the first time it happened. A girl I used to be close friends with in elementary school, we lived in the same village, spent lots of time after school, I really liked her, etc, etc. Years later, she got together with my first ex-boyfriend, and my last ex-best friend got together with my second ex-boyfriend. So apparently, my ex-best friends love starting relationships with my ex-boyfriends, which is of course totally fine. I just think it's a very funny coincidence.
If I had a nickel for every time I was doomed by a puppet, I'd have 2 nickels, which isn't a lot, but it's weird that it happened twice, right?
I have no ill will against any of these people, and if any of you is watching this right now, I recognize our relationships didn't work out. May love bless you. I hope your relationships work out better than they did with me. I'm in a much better place now, and I'm happy, and I hope you're happy too. And here you can see the final reveal of my oil painting. It's titled Bleeding Hearts, just like the flowers, representing grief, heartbreak, but also moving on. I'm so happy this painting is finally finished. I can't wait to hear your thoughts and opinions. Feel free to leave them in the comments for me. Thank you so much for watching and listening to me, and I'll see you next time. Bye!